Good morning, Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. I am so glad that you chose to be with us this morning. My name is Kate Walker, and I truly have the honor and the privilege of serving as your minister here in this wonderful hill. I am in the chapel celebrating our community in this time and place in whatever way we can. We are so glad that you are with us this morning. And yes, if you're paying attention, I am wearing white, head to toe. I am wearing white and my pearly pearls. And for those who didn't catch that memo, it is in direct reference to the suffragists. Yes, to the suffragists. And the pearls are for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So whether you are a long-time member of this community and you have been giving hours and hours and hours of your time and hundreds and thousands of dollars of your money, you are so welcome here. If you are brand new to this community and this is your first time with us, you are so welcome here. We're glad to have all of you in this time together as we celebrate in community in all the ways possible. We are, of course, welcoming the stranger in this time when we are unraveling the fabric of oppression wherever it has dug into our lives. And in this time of uncertainty, we are gathering here on Zoom in our digital world because we want to be safe. We want to keep each other healthy, but we are still, our hearts are open, even if our doors are closed. I do have a couple of announcements just to make sure you are up to speed. The theme of the month of November is friction. So, and all the ways that friction informs our lives. And the sermon title for next week that I will be delivering is In the Name of God. We're going to focus on creation stories, which always emerge out of friction. And today, starting today, we have a new times and groupings for the Sunday morning religious education classes. And this is direct feedback from teachers and parents and students. So we're all going to have a new format for religious education classes. Today, all classes are going to begin at 11:30. At all classes at 11:30, you'll find information in the announcements, in the bulletin that came with this, with our announcement about today's service, as well as the Wednesday email. And if you have any questions at all, please just email Ann Richards at DLSG, Director of Lifespan Spiritual Growth at MVUC.org. And she will be happy to help get you back on track. She's watching her email now if you have any questions. And I also, a correction that I need to raise your awareness in the order service, not on the slide later, but in the order service, we had the title, we're missing a word for the reading. The reading is titled, The Breath of Life is Not Mine Alone. The breath of life is not mine alone. And when you hear the reading, you'll understand why that's so important, that particular word. And if you are new to this community and you're visiting, you would like to be connected to us, please email us at info@mvuc.org, info@mvuc.org, Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. And that way you can get on our email list and get connected to our membership chair and all of us here. Now, this is a service that is a hybrid. There are parts that are pre-recorded, and then there's me. Every time I'm on, I'm live here in the chapel. So, which means we are alive together in so many ways. And I invite you, as we light our chalice here in the chapel and on your screen, to find a candle in your home if you don't always have one close by, but find a chalice for yourself. And then we'll all light our chalices together. And it's something that we're hoping that we can do as a tradition while we're in this time of being separated in body, though not in spirit. And of course, we've asked you to turn off your camera during this service so that you're free to move about your cabin without distracting others, and to please stay muted. But at the end of the service, you'll be invited to turn on your cameras and do a virtual wave and a hug before we break out into our social hour into small groups following the service. And yes, we have, thank you, Lynn Millett, we have some wonderful flowers here today, courtesy of Sandy Peterson. So yeah, they are just stunning. I'm just so glad to have them. So I invite you to take a breath. And if you need anything in this time of change, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to contact the staff. We are just an email or a phone call away. We're here for you always. Join me now as we worship together at home, here, virtually, digitally, and live. Welcome, welcome to you all.
This is a call to worship for the joyful, the brokenhearted, the fearful, the exhausted. For whatever you are feeling right now, may this be a place for you to find what you need. You are welcome here. In this gathering where we come to feed our souls, heal our hurts, and just be together. For too long now, we have experienced the things that divide us: poverty and oppression, unjust laws and policies, violence and imprisonment. We cannot fix these in a day or even a year, but we can fix them, and we must. Because we know that despite divisions, despite the triumphs or the defeats of candidates and parties, our destinies, all of them, remain deeply intertwined. Liberation must be for all people if it is truly liberation. As long as one soul suffers needlessly, we cannot rest. As long as our planet screams out in pain, so will all who live on her. So for all the feelings, the emotions, the pains and hurts, the joy and celebration you have in your heart and body and mind today, you are welcome here. Here may you find rest and renewal, partners for the journey, time to contemplate, and energy for action. Come, let us worship.
Good morning. Please join us in singing hymn 1009 from your teal hymnal or from your screen. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
I invite you now, from wherever you may be, to bring your voices out in reciting our covenant as the words are found on your screen. Love is the teaching of this church. The quest of truth is its daily task, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve life in community, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. This is our covenant with each and with all.
Waiting is not easy. Waiting is Not Easy by Mo Willems.
Gerald, I have a surprise for you.
Yay, what is it?
The surprise is a surprise.
Oh, is it big?
Yes,
Is it pretty?
yes.
Can we share it?
Yes.
I cannot wait.
You will have to.
Wait, what? Why?
The surprise is not here yet.
So I will have to wait for it?
Yes.
Whoa! Oh well, if I have to wait, I will wait. I'm waiting. Waiting is not easy. Piggy, I want to see your surprise now.
I'm sorry, Gerald. But we must wait.
Gone!
Oof.
I'm done waiting. I do not think your surprise is worth all this waiting. I will not wait anymore. Okay, I will wait some more.
It will be worth it.
Gold!
Eek.
Piggy, I've waited too long. It is getting dark. It is getting darker. Soon we will not be able to see each other. Soon we will not be able to see anything. We have wasted the whole day.
Well,
We have waited and waited and waited. And for what?
for that.
This was worth the wait.
I know.
Tomorrow morning, I want to show you the sunrise.
I cannot wait.
Thank you, Ann Richards, for that very fun story. Very fun story. It is time now for our offering. And as a community, we are continued to committing to share the plate with organizations that we all have chosen. And for the month of November, it is Friends of Guest House. This is a wonderful nonprofit organization based in the city of Alexandria. And they are committed to the belief that our past is not defined by our future. So with a new hope of a new future, they offer to women specifically who are re-entering the community from incarceration, giving them a place to stay and transition and home and training to help them create a new future. And it's such a wonderful organization. We will be splitting our donations between Friends of Guest House and our own community, Mount Vernon Unitarian Church, and where we continue to commit to our mission and vision of working in this community. If you would like it to be split otherwise, please note that in a check, which you are welcome to mail here to the church grounds. You can also make payments via text our church with your credit card, or you can do a bank transfer through our Church Life app on your smartphone. There's more information on the chat as well as in the slide. And we also, of course, invite you during this time of music, if you would like to name, I don't know, any celebrations you're feeling in your heart right now, you go right ahead. But we also know there are those who may be in a time of sorrow, and we want to recognize that as well. So feel free to name those in the chat right now as we listen to this wonderful music.
A reading entitled "The Breath of Life is Not Mine Alone" by the Reverend Kristen Harper. Two people look up at the camera, their faces pressed together and their hands caressing the other's face. I do not wish to breathe another breath if it is not shared with others. The breath of life is not mine alone. I brought myself to be with you, hoping that by inhaling the compassion, the courage, the hope found here, I can exhale the fear, the selfishness, the separateness I keep so close to my skin. I cannot live another moment, at least not one of joy, unless you and I find our oneness somewhere amongst each other, somewhere between the noise, somewhere within the silence of the next breath.
I invite you now to take a breath. Take a breath as individuals. Take a breath collectively as a community committed to liberation for all. Spirit of life, fill our hearts with each breath. Remind us of the depth of life from the roots of the trees, deep in the earth, to the tops of the trees and the leaves and the wind and the clouds and the stars out there in the universe. Remind us again that life is expansive, always in point of creation and full of beauty. Spirit of love, remind us that you are always in our fingertips, in our hearts, in our bodies and minds. Spirit of love, remind us that with each word, with each act, with each movement forward, we are a part of an expanding universe, spreading the depth and the breadth of love bound into the fabric of life. Spirit of justice, hear our collective breath and the sigh of relief as our country has shifted from one massive movement where voices of the oppressed have been heard and a new chapter is beginning in our country. Breath of justice and love and life, breath of peace, breath of compassion. Be with our political leaders now. Be with them as we move into a peaceful transition of power, as we welcome President-elect Biden, as we welcome President-elect Kamala Harris. We have been waiting for this for so long. We breathe. Spirit of life, spirit of love and justice, compassion and peace. Let us find our joy, our laughter, our capacity to sing and dance again. And let us know that we do not sing, we do not laugh, we do not dance, we do not breathe alone. Our siblings of all colors and races and backgrounds, in rural and cities and suburbs, are breathing with us. Let us bring our hearts together in a collective breath, celebrating our democracy. Blessed be. Amen.
You know, I woke up this morning at 4:30. The hesitation blues were knocking at my door. Tell me, how long do I have to wait? Oh, can I have it now, or must I hesitate? I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry. The waiting don't kill me, I live till I die. Tell me, how long do I have to wait? Oh, can I have it now, or must I hesitate? I ain't no politician, ain't no senator's son, but I can do some talking till that politician comes. Tell me, how long do I have to wait? Oh, can I have it now, or must I hesitate? Yeah, now. Or later. Well, rocks in the ocean, fish in the sea. You all mean the world to me. Tell me, how long do I have to wait? Oh, can I hold you now, or must I hesitate? I got the hesitation stockings, the hesitation shoes. Believe to my Lord, I've got those hesitation blues. Tell me, how long do I have to wait? Oh, can I have it now, or must I hesitate?
Thank you, Eric Porchot. Thank you, Yvonne Ing. Thank you, Carolyn Evangelista. Thank you, Mark Zimmerman. We love waiting for your music. We love waiting for your music. It is always so worth the wait. Waiting. I had to prepare 3 sermons for this Sunday, not knowing outcome, not possibly we didn't know the outcome. That was one sermon. One sermon, of course, was, well, no change in the presidential election. Leadership, okay. Didn't have to write that one. No, we're here celebrating. Very different place than we were in 2016. But I'm still pondering, waiting. Now we're waiting for January 20th. Waiting. So if you're waiting for the waiter at a restaurant, aren't you the waiter? Just wondering. Pondering life, that's what I do. One of my favorite memes while we were waiting this week was from the sloth in the movie Zootopia. And if you haven't seen Zootopia, please do. It's a fabulous, fabulous movie. The sloth is a banker moving at sloth speed. And the meme was the vote counting, of course, and our perception of how slow things were going this week. We have been waiting for so long, my people. We have been waiting for so long. We have been waiting for a woman to be in the executive branch of our democratic republic. So long. We have been waiting for a woman of color to be in executive level of leadership. We have been waiting for those who have power to help raise up our siblings who have been in danger of marginalization and oppression. We have been waiting for our transgender, indigenous, and immigrants to be voted into offices all across this beautiful country. We have been waiting for elected leaders to take strong action to help save our planet from global warming. We have been waiting for our leaders to heal, not hinder. We have been raising for them to raise up, not oppress, to create, not destroy, to love, not hate, to respect, not denigrate, to offer compassion, not dismiss, to act with courage, not fear, to lead, not abuse and neglect. We have been waiting for reconnection with one another in this great web of life. So we are celebrating today. The stars have shifted, the galaxy, the arc of justice all feels just a little bit better. But are you tired, my people? Are you exhausted? Waiting, we have to recognize, has a significant psychological impact, the stress. And I know some of you have been using your imagination. We all do. When we're waiting, we start to imagine the future and what's going to come next. And some of us imagine worst case scenarios outcome. And if the worst case scenario happens, that means we've actually lived it twice, which frankly doesn't make any sense. Why torture ourselves twice? That's exhausting in our bodies. Instead, wouldn't it be better when we're waiting is to imagine the best case outcome, the best future? Sure, you prepare for the worst, but you don't have to hyper focus on it. We buy AAA. We buy insurance, we lock the door at night, but we don't hyper focus on the worst each time. Imagine the best. As we look at the theme of the month of friction, I have to recognize that we're in constant friction between the past, the present, and the future. Tensions are always arising as we struggle to be in the present, waiting for whatever is next and struggling with the past. These tensions are exhausting. We're waiting for a door to open and what initiative we may need to take, but for what? Where are we going? Why are we taking action? This is a huge psychological impact, but it also has, and I'm a minister, so I have to go here, it has an existential layer as well. It brings an existential angst, a deep rumbling and grumbling in our subconscious pools of bewilderment about life and meaning. The classic 20th century play, Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett, was a landmark play for its style of theater of the absurd, but it was an invitation for introspection about meaning and life and purpose. What are we truly waiting for? Does it matter? Does it matter? What we're putting all of our time and energy and anxiety into. As clergy, we often like to summarize that one of the things we're waiting for is death. Not always that easy, but we like to bring it up. So here's a classic traditional story out of Iraq. One day, a servant went to the market for the master for the daily produce and meals. And while there, the servant looked up and saw, staring right at him, was death. And death raised a finger and looked right at the servant. The servant was shocked and surprised and terrified, went running back to his master and said, please, master, you must save me. I just saw death in the market and looked pointed right at me. You must save me. The master, thinking quickly, said, grab a horse, get on it, go over to Samara. You'll be there by nightfall. You'll be safe. And I'll go to the market and confront death. The servant got on the horse, took off for Samara, and the master went to the market and saw death and said, "What are you doing? You're surprising and shocking and scaring my servant." And Death said, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I surprised him. Wasn't meaning to, but frankly, I was just surprised. He surprised me. I didn't think your servant would be here in Baghdad. I expected your servant to be in Samara. We have an appointment tonight." This is what clergy do. We ask, what are you running from? What is it you fear? That's the existential angst deep in our subconscious. Right now, we have two countries in our nation. Both are full of fear. Both are full of anger, resentment, and they're waiting. Both are waiting for massive change based on their values, their perception of how the world works, their needs and their wants. The election is decided, but we're still waiting. Always something coming next. But life is not always to be running from or toward something. It's not always about running. to or from. Waiting is an important time to be clear about what is happening in this moment. It's an invitation to pause in the chaos and the tumbling forward. And we need to be grounded in spiritual practice of waiting. We have psychological costs. We have existential angst prodding us forward. We need a spiritual practice of waiting. In a few weeks, Advent begins in a period of dedicated waiting, invitation to reflect about the profound experience of being human on this long journey. In moments of waiting, there's an opportunity for heightened awareness, for a deepening of our emotional health, an exploration of what we really want out of our life, and find that meaning providing sustenance. For Christians, Advent is a waiting for the story of salvation to begin. But whether we're waiting for Advent, an election result, or for a friend who never shows up, waiting can be a discipline of accepting that we can't know what exactly is happening next. We don't always have control. Waiting is a time to hone our insights, shift our perspectives, practice patience. And as Unitarian Universalists, it's an invitation to practice our Unitarian Universalist fourth principle, that responsible search for truth and meaning. We can't do that if we're on the run all the time. Waiting is a time of taking stock, asking questions, exploring, to step outside of our busy lives and challenge our comfort zone. And asking ourselves if we have become too dependent on material pleasures. Waiting is a time of imagining a great tomorrow, a time of liberation for all, where hope can find its fulfillment. Waiting offers invitation for what are you living? For what are you spending your time? This was the question that Alexander Hamilton kept asking Aaron Burr. What are you waiting for? Our nation, then, as it is now, and always has been in friction. And we must always look for the healing with our siblings, with our neighbors, with our family. We are always in that friction, a need of healing, a broken nation, and a people, and pursuing liberation for all, of celebrating life as it emerges in every moment. The tragedy of Beckett's characters in Waiting for Godot is they didn't know what they were waiting for, and they were disappearing. To wait is to prepare. It is to imagine not the worst, but the best future possible. Waiting is a fallow time of creativity bubbling up. Sure, buy AAA, buy insurance, have our bellies full and lay our tired bodies down for rest. And make time for joy, dancing, laughter, love, and bell ringing. Waiting is a time of imagination of what we truly want. And that comes from joy and love and bell ringing, not fear. Waiting is part of a cycle, a reflection of preparation, creation, action, time for waiting, reflection, preparation, and action. And if you are one of those people that really likes a paradox, my Star Trek fans, that's where we are. We are constantly, all at the same time, reflecting, preparing, creating, and acting. We are constantly waiting and preparing and acting, all at the same time. No one ever promised this human journey would be easy. And there's too much at stake to sit this out and disappear. Too many lives are at stake. Our new executive branch, our new senators and congresspeople need our support more than ever to hear our voices and to know that we will be there and have their back. So breathe, my friends, breathe. Play, rest, sing, laugh, dance, ring those bells. We have left one waiting room. There are more to come. Let us remember for what we are yearning, for what we truly want to create together. Our breaths are tied to one another, always. Blessed be, and amen.
Good morning. Please join us in singing hymn 1028 from your teal hymnal or from your screen. From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hearts and minds and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Will you join me as we unite our voices to recite the words to extinguish our chalice, words known within our hearts and can be found displayed upon your screen? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Oh, my people, I so wish we could be together in person right now. I know you are all dancing and singing at home, and maybe you spilled out into the streets last night. Maybe you have your own bells to ring. I hope you are, my beloved people. I hope you are. This is not a time to be alone, but please be safe. As you go forth into this week, may you breathe. Breathe collectively and beautifully. May you also sing and dance and joy. We are waiting always, and we are preparing always. Be grounded, be grounded in this earth spiritually, psychologically. And once in a while, take a look in the existential angst that we all carry, and then go back to the joy, the celebration, and the love. Go in peace and return again always in love. We're going to have our postlude and then our virtual wave and hug and then our social hour. And another thank you to Sandy Peterson, who I saw was not here earlier, but is now, for the beautiful flowers. Thank you, Sandy. Hello, hello, good people. Put your view on gallery so you can see each other. Wave.